Liebe Leute, willkommen zurück zu Suzerain. Ja, die Situation im Lande eskaliert mal wieder. Es einige gewaltsame Auseinandersetzungen, überwiegend von den jungen Sorden, die plötzlich wieder auftauchen, von der Nationalen Front oder wie sie heißen. Also die Ultrarechten und Faschos kommen wieder aus ihren Löchern gekrochen und greifen die Staatsgewalt an. Aber es sind auch weitere Proteste wegen der schwachen Wirtschaftslage natürlich dabei und konservativer Backlash und so weiter und so fort. Wir haben als nächstes ein Treffen oder eine Entscheidung zumindest bezüglich eines industriellen Expansionsprogramms. Schauen wir mal, was uns zur Verfügung steht. Staatsinvestitionen. 2 oder 3 Budgetpunkte. Wir hatten uns ja von -6 auf -5 wieder hochgezogen. Minister Hall and Manga have prepared a massive industrial expansion plan that could support several key industries in the country through state investment. Sordland could become much more competitive and a hub for new industries with this initiative. Die Frage ist, wie weit können wir noch runter mit dem Budget? Ich meine, mit Inflation kämpfen wir jetzt schon. Also Militär machen wir mal nicht. Landwirtschaft, Autos, Elektronik. Bisher war es so, dass aber wir bauen da unten ja die Landwirtschaft schon aus. Also das nochmal weiter zu fördern, ist, glaube ich, Unsinn. Ich würde sagen, wir gehen mal mit Elektronik. Weitere Staatsverschuldung. Und das bringt uns zum Ende dieses Zuges. The program offers up to 10,500 Sordish rent per person to support entrepreneurs and aspiring students in the field. At the same time, we will be assisting them with training, materials, manpower and reimbursing up to 70% of cost for all their equipment needed. Okay, klingt ein bisschen seltsam. Dass das dann 2 Budgetpunkte gekostet hat. Naja. Government dedicates investment to electronics. Invest in the future with massive push for the new electronics industry that is rising in importance all around the globe. Many companies formed by Gesord researchers are going to be funded with government support to ensure that the electronics industry in Sordland grows in its potential. Hurrah! A technological revival awaits the nation. Experts in the country who praise Acacia and United Contana on their dedication to investing in electronics have also extended their commendations to the Rayne administration for economically advocating such measures. Will Sordland manufacture its very own radio soon? Jetzt bin ich sehr, sehr gespannt, wie es weitergeht, liebe Leute. Kapitel 3 abgeschlossen. Es geht weiter mit Kapitel 4, Schachmatt. Das klingt nicht so vielversprechend. Geopolitico. Hegel would take all the necessary steps. Da geht es wieder weiter um den Streit um Helgeland mit Agnolia. Hegel said Weichsland, as the guarantor of Helgeland's security, would take all the necessary steps to prevent mass atrocities committed against the islanders. Protect a Women Act. Schauen wir doch mal. Durch die Nationalversammlung beschlossen. The Assembly, in cooperation with the Commission on the Status of Women, has come to the conclusion that the country suffers under a high ratio of domestic violence. In light of these immoral conditions, the Parliament passes the following law. Section 1 criminalizes domestic violence that occurs against women. Subsection 1 of Section 1 creates a newly established Witness Protection Program for abused women. Machen wir, auch wenn uns das noch weiter in die Staatsschulden treibt. Machen wir das sofort. Trotzdem haben wir aktuell immer noch nur durchschnittliche Frauenrechte. Zug Nummer 9 ist das. Naja, end of day at the home. It was raining as Serge dropped me off. Oh, ich glaube das Landwirtschaftsprojekt wurde abgeschlossen. Serge dropped me off at home after yet another grueling day at work. A guard held an umbrella over my head as I walked from the car to my front door. Inside the house was completely dark. I flipped on the light in the kitchen to find a note from Monica. Chiara had called her in for the last-minute women's right meeting. She dropped Diana off at a friend's and left me some food for reheating. I took the pot out of the fridge. It was filled with an unidentifiable grayish-looking stew. Evidently, Monica's excellent cooking had been the first casualty of her political career. Reheat stew. I sighed and put the pot on the stove. While I was heating up, I went to the living room to fix myself a drink. Suddenly the phone rang. I went back to the kitchen and answered it. Frank's voice was on the other end. Oh, I thought Mom would pick up. Your mother works harder than I do these days. Oh right, she was actually in the papers over here. They are calling her fierce. There was a long silence. I got that record you sent me. Not bad for old folks music. Peter thought you might like it. How's Uncle Peter doing? I haven't heard from him since the press conference. Oh, okay. It's so messed up what he did. Some of the profs here were hoping you'd hire a new VP who'd push you closer to millennialism. That would be too dangerous. The cabinet chooses the candidates. I didn't have many choices. Stimmt ja sogar. So oder so, also das lässt ja auch offen, ob man es getan hätte oder nicht. How do you find the land of socialism? I mean, they're obviously doing something right, but I guess you don't feel the same way since you made that deal with Lesbia. Aber ich wollte doch mit Walksland auch. The most convenient option. You never paid attention to my politics back at home. Yeah, well, people change. My head's been stuffed with Swedish propaganda since the day I was born. Right now I feel like I'm thinking clearly for the first time. Okay. I'm happy you're opening your mind. I suddenly became aware of a smoky smell coming from the kitchen. My dinner was burning. Good catching up with you, Frank. Yeah, okay, bye Dad. We both hung up. I raced to the stove and turned off the burner. The bottom of the pot was charred, but part of the mystery stew was still salvageable. I ate alone by the flickering light of the television, wondering when Monica and Diana would get home. Was? 11 Nachrichten? Oh, wir sind noch weiter abgestürzt. Guckt mal. Minus 13 jetzt. Oh oh. The credit rating of Sordland has been downgraded after a massive report on government deficit has surfaced from the Ministry of Economy. Foreign rating agencies have said that investors who buy government bonds with high interest rates are not likely to see a profitable return on investments. The reduction from B to D will also reduce the chances of attracting foreign investors. Aber die Sana Agricultural Zone wurde eröffnet. The mayor of the city expressed tremendous gratitude toward the administration. With the region taking the full damage from the recession, the investment has saved thousands of farmers from bankruptcy while allowing new agricultural entrepreneurs new opportunities. Harshest security proposal vetoed. In an act of courage, President Rayne has vetoed the Security Act proposal that would see unhinged powers extended to the security forces of the country to put down the ongoing protests. Jawohl. Protect Women Act signed. In a massive step forward for Sordlands women, domestic violence became illegal throughout the country thanks to a bill proposed by the government's new Women's Rights Commission. Sehr gut. Former Vice President Peter Vekton has not been seen in public in months since his affair with the Rumburgian spy was made public. Vekton reportedly left Holsworth for a change of scenery following the scandal, but those still close to the former VP claim they have not been able to reach him. Und 6 Nachrichten der Holsworth Post. Conservatives tried to obstruct the administration. The conservative wing seemed to be intentionally obstructing President Rayne's agenda, from failing to attend committee meetings to delaying bills that the president has attempted to push through. Gloria Tory and her fellow conservatives have no apparent motive other than blocking Rayne at every turn. The election campaign ramps up across Sordland. To become the 5th president of Sordland, the candidates began delivering their speeches at rallies and conventions while the party flags were flying in major cities. The campaign centers are busy with scheduling and organizing events. In the majority of the cities, USB appears to be the most prominent, whereas PFJP follows behind along with NFP. It will be thrilling to see the presidential race renew. Ah, da ist das Problem. Dadurch sind wir abgestürzt. The Lotherberg Group pulls out. Wealth vacuum endangers the economy. The withdrawal of the Lotherberg Group has left behind a 2-decade-worth vacuum of power. Not to mention the wealth they accumulated since the rise of the Republic, which has now been pulled out of Sordland in a quick and destructive fashion. What kind of economic capacity is needed to fill the gap that the Lotherberg oligarchs have left? It is for certain that the Rayne administration has made one step too far in power. The economic balance that was solidified in the Alfonso era was destabilized too quickly. Unfortunately for our economy, many more millionaires and foreign interests are now eyeing to pull back their investments to cut their losses, leaving Sordland in an economically weakened position. President Anton Rayne has sent his eldest son Frank to United Contana for university studies. It appears that Frank is following in the footsteps of his old man and has been swept into millennialism as well. It's disappointing to see that Frank could not use this time to find his own feet. Oh no, Lady's bill struck down. Families in Sordland can breathe easier. Ja, konservatives Blatt. As the controversial Women's Liberation Act proposed by Minister of Education Chiara Walder, with the blessing of First Lady Monica Rayne, completely failed to pass. This bill, which would have upended Sordish traditional values by forcing undue burdens on women in the name of equality, was supported by the president but struck down in the assembly, showing Anton Rayne who wears the trousers in this government. Und Security Act wurde abgelehnt. Kapital wurde aus dem Land gezogen. Und wir haben eine Schuldenkrise. Government's reckless spending. Ja, ja. Sordland has entered a debt crisis. The country won't be able to pay its government debt in the near term without the assistance of a third party. Und wir haben sehr, sehr viele Meldungen quer durchs ganze Land. Polizei wurde überwältigt. Many attacks have occurred in remote cities. Ambushes are rampant and security forces are being pushed back. Police stations and patrols were the main targets of the militants. Sana Agricultural Zone has opened to the public. Long lines of farmers are waiting in line to apply for the new cooperation opportunities. The opening is expected to increase the agricultural output of Sana by 40%. Ja, diese Sachen müssen halt langsam mal irgendwie Früchte tragen. Das ist das Problem, ein bisschen. Partial Leatherberg capital withdrawals hit. Dozens of well-connected business people tied to the Leatherberg group have pulled a massive amount of financial resources out of the country, which has damaged the economy to a degree. Government reserves are being injected to maintain stability. The Central Bank of the Ministry of and the Ministry of Economy are tackling the extensive damages caused by the debt crisis and the subsequent credit rating downgrade. Both entities are resorting to all sorts of currency and economic control measures to stabilize the volatility triggered by the events. Record number of female students. The proportion of female students enrolled in Sordland's education system is getting closer to half the students' body. With more than 1 million enrollments recorded this academic year by women, the highest share on record in Sordland, according to a report by the Ministry of Education. Desolinization progress. We are putting an end to all propaganda stories about Takin Sol across all schools and universities in Gen. Those pictures have also been confiscated with heavy resistance from the citizens, requiring drastic measures to be enacted. Thousands of political enemies of Takin Sol are finally returning to their homes for the first time in decades. Many famous political prisoners have also been freed from Anton Rock prison as part of the amnesty. Hervorragend. Human Dignity Bill. The newly proposed bill will amend Section 3 of the 1923 Legal Transactions Act that allowed the legislation of transactions which occurred in non-registered businesses or other entities like single persons if the parties delivered accurate documentation to the financial authorities. This created a legal loophole for prostitution. The Human Dignity Bill will protect common decency and prevent the violation of moral principles that occur in the act of prostitution by making it an illegal offense in which perpetrators are punishable. Ja. Jetzt kommt es auf die weitere Verschuldung auch nicht mehr an, oder? Und das ist die richtige Entscheidung. Prostitution will now be punishable by law. Ich meine, ja, die Frage ist halt, in welche Richtung, also wer wird da, das wurde halt ja nicht erläutert, ne? Wer wird da bestraft, welche Seite, aber ja, naja. Diskussion der inneren Angelegenheiten. Ich glaube, das heben wir uns für die nächste Folge auf, liebe Leute. Und schauen besorgt auf die Staatsverschuldung und fragen uns, wie wir da gescheit wieder rauskommen, ohne die Kapitalisten anbetteln zu müssen, wieder zurück ins Land zu kommen. Das war mal wieder sehr bezeichnend, dass es keine Gesetze gibt, die die Kapitalflucht verhindern. Aber gut, so ist es nun mal. Also, macht's gut, bis dann, euer Jan.